Hey, what's going on, Maschine Masters? My name is MGTheFuture. Thank you guys for joining us today. Today's video, I'll be working with MIDI a little bit to pick up where I left off last week. Last week, I went ahead and showed you guys that you could take chord progressions that you find online and load them into Scalar and kind of create a small chord library or just a faster workflow for you, especially if you're having beat block or you're just having trouble coming up with certain ideas. Today, I want to further that along by dealing with it in terms of melodic MIDI files and some of the ideas that come to my mind when I think about that kind of workflow. And Nicki Minaj came out this week with a song called Chun-Li, and when I was listening to it, I thought it was such a wasted opportunity to not actually reference, sample, or interpolate the actual Chun-Li theme. So what I did was I went on Google and I searched for Chun-Li theme Street Fighter 2 MIDI, and I'm sure it's got me green apples. There's plenty of them. So I got one. I want to show you how I edit it. I want to show you how I use Scalar to help me determine what it is, and then probably just do some basic effects. So the first things first, I'm assuming you're going on the web, you're downloading some of your video game soundtracks. And when you do, in the MIDI format, you're going to drag it into FL like we did last week. Always check this which tracks to import if you're using FL Studio or similar programs, because you're going to notice in this song, there's bass, there's violins, there's kalimbas, and flutes. I'm interested in the flute. You can create a different track for each instrument if you would like. For this demonstration, I just want the main melody. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and insert a scalar. Scalar by default has a piano sound, so this will allow us to hear what this is. So I'm copy and paste it to scalar. We'll go ahead and play it from here. So it has a whole stage. It even has a stage when you're getting dusted by Honda and it starts to speed up. So what I want to do is grab a nice little 2-bar or 4-bar loop. I know I'm not going to need any of this. I just got to make sure this loops correctly. And I think, judging by how this starts, it leads in. So I only need this. I believe that's 2 bars, and maybe we'll take this as well. So what I'm going to do here is cut this. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in place. And if you want, you put the metronome on to make sure the downbeat's the downbeat. So this note throws the whole thing off. So what you have to do is move it so that it ties back into this first one, because you notice it drops down here to come back up to here. And that could be for a myriad of reasons. That's just how that melody is flowing. It's going from C to E. So what I'll do is I'll move this note up here and see if that works. Works for me. Might be a better note to lead into A, but that one's right next to it. Now that I have what I need from that particular MIDI loop, I can go ahead and transform it if I wish. But the first thing you want to know is what the scale is. And Scalar, for me, is the perfect tool to do that, because if you've seen some of my older videos, I go to a website, use these little drop-down boxes, pick each note in the MIDI or the Melodyne file, and then try to figure out what the scale it is. Those days are gone. So now I can just hit start, hit play. And what happens is Scalar analyzes individual notes and not just chords. So these individual notes are very useful because now you can take advantage of this list and go, all right, what scale were these guys in? And you notice at the top, what you're going to notice is that all the ones that are 6 out of 6 for notes match are potential scales that this was written in. So we got Locrian, you got Phrygian if you want, you got Lydian if you want, and then right here goes to 5 out of 6. So Locrian on up. But the most basic way to understand it is it's A minor or C major. So now that you know that, you can set your scale to that in Ghost channels. So we'll go to here to helpers, scale highlighting, make sure it's set to A minor, and you'll notice all these are in highlighted regions only. This way you can go on a backing track and kind of figure out the chords as well if you wish. Or you can use Scalar, and Scalar will figure out the chords for you because it's selected A minor. And you can demo out these different chords to see if it fits. So once I have that going, what I do is pick a better sound, something a little bit more modern, of course. I'll probably use Silent, cut and paste it on the right track. Very cool. Let's go ahead and save it. We are working in a beta. And if we want, we can add some effects to it, kind of change the way it feels more than anything. I'll add the retro color to it, see what kind of video game effects they have. I know I've seen a couple in the preset list, retro game. All right, I'm gonna take some of that edge off of it. Probably use halftime or something, right? There we go. And then we'll throw a filter on there because it still has some of that harshness from the bit reduction. And the bit reduction thing is a flavor thing. You don't have to bit reduce everything, even if you're doing lo-fi. I just prefer it. It just sounds different once you put it all together. There we go. And then we put in some drums in there real quick, just to carry it. Cool, so we got the main melody, and there's a little awkwardness on that last note because we know the video game and we wanted to keep going, but I'm gonna use a riser or something at the end to kind of blend it, to make it transition better. Now let's complement that melody with something else. So I'm gonna duplicate this. I wanna save it again, because you already know what FL Studio is about. And I'll probably do the same exact melody, or maybe I'll trace it and add a lead line or something to it. So let's see if any of these are chords. Because I know these video game sound designers back in the day were going ham. So in scale highlight, it'll be every other key. So that looks like that's one extended chord all the way up to here. Yeah, so that's an extended chord here. How did I know that? Because normally when you see scale highlight and there's two notes next to each other, that's usually a seventh if you move it up an octave up. So maybe that's a chord down here. And then they come back down, they're walking down here. So move that an octave up, see what that looks like. Maybe, maybe not. I'm kind of taking my best guess here. And we can duplicate that because that's the same melody, walking down the same stairs. So I'm gonna repeat this one twice. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Repeat this one twice. The same kind of format. And then this last one, this note here is still bothering me. So maybe it's something like that. So I found something that kind of works. That last chord is suspect, but I'm gonna live. I'm not too mad at it. Let's go ahead and go into piano roll and let's trace the chords. I'm gonna figure this out. All right, so I got the bass figured out. I got some nice chords. I got that slide on the bass because it's kind of oriental sounding. And all that's driven by having this melody and knowing what the scale is and kind of just filling in the blanks, choosing every other key to kind of complete the chords or imagine them. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it'll increase your productivity a lot. And the one thing I would say about dealing with MIDI files, especially from games and things you like, try not to put all the sounds in there or all the notes, because a lot of times people get a MIDI file and load the whole song, so it's overwhelmed with too many notes. Just pick something out of that you like. The melody, the chord progression, the bass lines low-key are lit too. You're having a really dope bass line from a video game and put an 808 instead, and then fix the notes to be portamento or slide, and then come up with something on top of that. One last thing I want to try though, and I want to see if I can actually put Nicki Minaj in this. Don't know that I can. What I do know is that my song is A minor, and hers isn't. Just something fun. And here it is all together. Boom, that's pretty much it. That's how I would have made a Chun-Li beat for Nicki Minaj if we were going to do a Chun-Li type beat using MIDI files from video games on the internet, using Scaler to analyze the notes to give us some scales to try out, using FL Studio's scale highlight to fill in the chords and the 808s, using my Trap Next Door kit, putting something together real light, real fast, and really cool. I mean, that's one heck of a way to beat beat block, man, by setting those kind of challenges for yourself. Hopefully you guys get something out of this. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely leave them in the box below. Make sure you catch us on social media. I'm at MGTheFuture on Twitter and Instagram. Also be sure to follow at Maschine Masters. Until next time, peace.